Sunny FM is excited to announce its couples retreat 2025.
Like a dream come true.
The couples retreat train is heading to the beautiful city of Takoradi this year. Prepare for a refreshing and unforgettable weekend getaway at the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, crowned with a special vacation at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort. Date 29th to the 31st of August 2025. Lock down the date and get ready to experience a weekend filled with warm fellowship, interactive and impactful retreat sessions, and intentional couple bonding activities that will leave lasting memories. Our time at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort, promises pure delight, horse riding, kayaking on calm waters, to relaxing couple walks, couple games, and beautiful moments under the sunset. It's a perfect setting to unwind and reconnect in the most memorable way. The weekend will cost 7,888 Ghana cedis per couple, inclusive of transportation. Registration deadline is the 25th of August 2025. To register, call or WhatsApp 0545 223324 0545 223324. Don't miss this special opportunity to refresh your love, strengthen your bond in a faith-filled and uplifting atmosphere. Let's make this a weekend to remember together.
Trying to see the you're only key steps 1, 2, 3. Make you fall in love with me.
Sunny FM is excited to announce its couples retreat 2025.
Like a dream come true.
The couples retreat train is heading to the beautiful city of Takoradi this year. Prepare for a refreshing and unforgettable weekend getaway at the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, crowned with a special vacation at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort. Date 29th to the 31st of August 2025. Lock down the date and get ready to experience a weekend filled with warm fellowship, interactive and impactful retreat sessions, and intentional couple bonding activities that will leave lasting memories. Our time at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort, promises pure delight, horse riding, kayaking on calm waters, to relaxing couple walks, couple games, and beautiful moments under the sunset. It's a perfect setting to unwind and reconnect in the most memorable way. The weekend will cost 7,888 Ghana cedis per couple, inclusive of transportation. Registration deadline is the 25th of August 2025. To register, call or WhatsApp 0545 223324 0545 223324. Don't miss this special opportunity to refresh your love, strengthen your bond in a faith-filled and uplifting atmosphere. Let's make this a weekend to remember together.
Trying to see the you're only key steps 1, 2, 3. Make you fall in love with me.
Sunny FM is excited to announce its couples retreat 2025.
Like a dream come true.
The couples retreat train is heading to the beautiful city of Takoradi this year. Prepare for a refreshing and unforgettable weekend getaway at the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, crowned with a special vacation at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort. Date 29th to the 31st of August 2025. Lock down the date and get ready to experience a weekend filled with warm fellowship, interactive and impactful retreat sessions.
To get into a Marriage Unscripted series this morning, and this is actually the second year we're putting together the Marriage Unscripted series. And I think from last year through to even the conversations we started having this year, it is not hard to see that strong marriages are built on mutual support and encouragement. Today, we're hoping you can stick with us and ask a friend, ask a sister, a brother to join in the conversation as we dive into the importance of couples supporting each other's goals and dreams. And our guest today is Mrs. Veronica Rita Sackey. She's a pre- and postmarital counselor. She joins us this morning to share some valuable insights, some practical advice on how partners can uplift and empower each other. So we are live on Facebook. You can join in the conversation. Also on YouTube. Yes, you can check us out on YouTube as well. And then you can watch us on Sunny TV right from the comfort of your home or office. All right. So Mrs. Veronica Rita Sackey is seated. Remember, our couples retreat is also coming up, and we're excited to be hosting the Sunny FM couples at our upcoming couples retreat 2025. In between, we'll be sharing the details with you. And if you'd like to sign up, you can sign up as soon as possible. Mrs. Veronica Rita Sackey, good morning.
Hello, JJD. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, it's always such a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Yes, I know. It's always a delight to come back. Sunny FM
Yes.
is my family.
Yes. You know, this one we're talking about the prayer cafe, and I mentioned that you actually mentioned the prayer cafe in your book.
Yeah.
And I thought that was powerful.
Yeah.
And I remember last year you also joined us on Marriage Unscripted. You
Yes.
talked about conflict resolution. We had some great feedback on that. And as I was driving to work, no, this morning I didn't drive to work. My car's at the workshop.
Oh, okay.
As I was being driven to work, I remembered you at one of our couples retreat. It was at Royal Senchi. You and your husband. I think we had Opinion Kojo Chair during that year.
Yes,
and
yes,
you
yes,
joined us for that couples. I just was reminiscing on some past times. But it's great to have you this morning as we touch on couples supporting each other's goals and dreams. And when she walked in this morning, I said, "Hey, Auntie Vero, I saw of Facebook you were on a cruise, enjoy yourself, taking videos." And I said, you have to have a supportive partner to be able to go on a cruise like that, and you don't have a single thing to worry about. Like your mind is at peace. But how was your cruise?
Yes, the cruise was very, 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 very beautiful and fulfilling.
Great.
And indeed, as one of my points to discuss, I talk about wellness goals.
Great.
Wellness goals. And you must, as a couple, support each other for your wellness.
Okay.
And as my wellness coach Ariel would always say, if you don't know, how does she say? She says, if you think wellness is expensive, try illness. Yeah. If you think wellness is expensive, hi, Ariel.
She just walked in or something? Oh, she's listening. Okay.
I'm just saying hi to her.
All right.
And I mentioned it in my book, actually, because you think that we downplay wellness so much. Yeah. And it is so important. And we are girlfriends that went on the cruise, and we do a reunion all the time. It is so crucial. Even if you are married, I say all the time, if you are married with your husband and your children, you need your girlfriends.
You need to find your tribe.
You need to do that. Find your tribe and spend time with them. It's so therapeutic, it is so rewarding, and there are many blessings to it. And so these are my girlfriends that we've been friends for 49 years now.
Wow.
Since we went to Holy Child in 12 years, and we are still friends. And so that aspect is very important. So I'm happy you bring it out.
Yeah, I was admiring.
And husbands should please support their wives to get because I say that because JJD, women, we are complex. We have our problems are hydra headed. And so we need that kind of support to make us functional, to make us, we are in the family always pouring out. And if you don't make the effort to refuel or refill, then you are going to get burned out. Yeah. And then very soon you are going to be frustrated, and it's going to be toxic around you. Yeah. And we don't need that. No. So it's a blessing to support women. And then women must also support we must men. Support. It's mutual. Yes. It's mutual.
Couples supporting
each other.
That's what we are talking about this morning. We are live on Facebook. All right. You can join in the conversation if you have a question, you have a contribution, you can send it in. In fact, WhatsApp as well, 0540-130-684. And Vero, how can couples, I mean, now they're one, as we say, they're married, they've come together. Though they're one, they each have your personal and professional goals. In fact, they're even talking about wellness goals. I'm sure some may have some spiritual goals. I mean, many aspects to it.
Yeah.
How can I effectively communicate this to my spouse? How can my spouse effectively also communicate their goals and their dreams to me to better understand? Yeah.
Thank you for that. JJD, before I delve into that, let me at the outset make a few comments that will help everybody. And communication is very key. It's a pivot around which marriage revolves. So if you don't work on your communication, then you are going to have problems. It is so crucial that couples work on their communication. And I want to say that the goals and dreams, you can have them. I have put them in two broad categories, where you have the common family joint goals, and then you have the individual goals. So under the common ones, you will have things like children's upbringing and education, career, profession goals. You have your ministry goals. As Christian couples, you each have your own ministry that you must fulfill, financial goals, and then wellness goals. And then you come to the individual goals. You have your career goals that you must fulfill. There are certain things you must take ownership, but then you get support from your spouse to ensure that you fulfill that. And so let me say that it is important that faith, your basic faith, Christian faith, forms the basis. And so things like your spiritual goals, you pray together. The family altar must be there, and you must be sure that the altar is burning with fire and that it is not cold. And how do you ensure that altar is burning? It's a daily effort, daily discipline, daily commitment to gather at the altar. You and your husband pray together. When you do that, you are supporting your spiritual goals. And then it is the place where you find solace and comfort. And so that is very important. You must seek God's guidance for the different goals and dreams. And I also want to talk about the fact that you must be transparent, share it, because there must be an agreement. And Amos 3 talks about the fact that how can two work together except they agree. And so that is very fundamental. But and also Deuteronomy 32:30 talks about the fact that how could one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight? So look at the exponential. 1, you are chasing 1,000, and 2, you are chasing 10,000. Look at the exponential. Yeah. So there's merit, and the Bible talks about the fact that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So the two, and then it also talks about 2 are better than 1. There are so many scriptures that confirm the fact that it is good that you have each other, and then you are there to support each other. And so, having said that, that mutual encouragement is so important. Be each other's biggest cheerleader. Don't let it be that I'm out there and an outsider is cheering me more than my spouse is. The signal is not very good. Yeah. And it is important that we cheer each other on and speak life into each other's goals. Celebrate the small milestones, and when I talk about celebrate the small milestones, let me say that at the outset, it is very difficult. From experience, I've been married for 34 years, and I'm saying that it doesn't come easy for a couple to come together to set the plans and the goals and the dreams and all of that, but you need to be intentional about it. That intentionality is very, very, very important. You are intentional. So what my husband and I, we do is that at the beginning of the year, we set a time for discussing the goals for the year.
Okay.
They are the long-term ones and they are the short-term ones. And so we do the short-term ones. What are we seeking to achieve this year? What do you want to achieve this year? Then we go to the different aspects of the goals, whether it's the ministry goals, whether it's your career goals, whether it's your profession goals, whether it's your spiritual goals. And then you are open before each other. That is very important. And the financial goals as well is very important. Sometimes there's a problem when there's no transparency in the discussion. And sometimes you're not able to, some couples will not want to be open as to what they are earning from which source and all. It doesn't help with the planning. It is so important. You are there for each other, to help each other, for the ultimate benefit of your family, your nuclear family, extended family, and the kingdom, to support kingdom business ultimately. And so we should not lose sight of that aspect. And JJD, there's more that I can say on that one. Let me talk about being willing, the sacrificial support. Be willing to adjust your own plans temporarily to help your spouse to move on. For instance, I can talk about, I'll talk about what I know and what I have done, what me and my husband have done. For instance, you know that I started doing law at the age of 47 when I went to the law school. And so this was a major career or professional goal. We needed to discuss it. As soon as I mooted the idea, I had to go to my husband and say that, hey, this is the idea that is coming to me. I'm flirting with this idea. Now, what do you think about it? You have to get the buy-in of your spouse right at the outset.
It helps you go further.
It helps you to go. You get all the support. And I can say that the man Bobby Sackey support, that's how I call him, the man Bobby Sackey. He supported me. He said, go for it. You can do it. And when you have all these roles that you have to play, none must suffer, and you must have added on top of it going to law school. And everybody who is a law student will tell you what it is. It's a difficult thing. So it's important to, at the outset, share the goal, get the buy-in of your spouse, and then it helps with the ownership. He shares ownership with you, and then he handholds you and walks with you through the journey. So couples out there, please, if it is, let me say this once it has come to me, if it is a project, you are building a house, sometimes the men, they like surprises. Sometimes, genuinely, they want to surprise. But I think it's not everything that you must go on that tangent of a surprise. You're building
project.
Building project cannot be a surprise. My dear men and brethren, I know some of them are listening to me. Some of my friends are listening. Men and brethren, that cannot be a surprise. Share. I mean, what's the motive for keeping it away from your spouse? If it's an ill motive, then please, you need to repent and then come around the table and let's do kingdom business, because it starts from home. So that's what I wanted to say. I also want to talk about and then when your spouse supports, recognize it, appreciate it, let him feel good about the support he's giving you,
what he or she is doing.
Yes, and then he can even give you more support. Don't take it for granted that it is expected. No, it is not expected. He does it, praise him and then appreciate him or her, the communication, I've already kind of mentioned that, open and honest discussion about your goals and your dreams. Be honest, and then if there are concerns, raise them. So the at the outset, when we set the goal at the beginning of the year, we walk through it, but periodically we come back to discuss that's a bit of monitoring and evaluation. Where have we gotten to?
And she's
I'm a
she's
policy
a pro
person.
in that area.
So you have to take a step back. Where are we? Where are we at with this thing that we said we'll do? Because if you are not intentional about it, other things will take your attention, and sooner than later, the whole project will suffer. Your dreams and your goals will suffer. May not see the light of day. But you need to be intentional about with the implementation.
This is Sunny 88.7 FM, the Marriage Unscripted series with Mrs. Veronica Rita Sackey. We're talking about couples supporting each other's goals and dreams. Auntie Vera, as we passionately like to call her here at Sunny, what have you discovered are some of the common challenges couples face when they're trying to support each other's goals? And how can they overcome them?
Yeah. It's a blessing to be able to agree to do the question one. You said that we'll do it together, and then you start off, and implementation is always a problem. Even on the government level, policy side, the implementation is a huge gap, and you must ensure that doesn't suffer. And that's why I talked about intentionality. One challenge, one partner's goal demands time that takes away from the family so much. And like I said, when I started the law school, the family was suffering. But for the fact that the man, Bobby Sackey, decided to step in to, it is so very important. When the weight of the implementation of the goal or the dream, you need to mitigate it. You need to find ways of addressing that. And so if it is for the fact that because of this dream, you are not going to be present most of the time at home, the other spouse must fill in. If not the spouse, there must be other ways of doing this. For instance, I'm a woman and I have to ensure that there's food. There's food at home. So I had to outsource cooking. The cooking, and to be sure that there's always food in the freezer. And this is not the time for any man to tell me that I don't like frozen food. No, we can't do that at this stage.
The young man here,
he's laughing. No, this is not the time, because in the 21st, no, we can't do that.
And I guess it's easier for your spouse to understand that if, like you're saying, you and your husband Bobby would have the discussion earlier in the year.
Exactly.
I'm embarking on this dream. This is what it's going to take.
Exactly.
You may have to have some frozen food, rather than probably just sneak up on them midway in the year that I'm doing this. I guess that may be if particularly they like their food fresh.
So I think this is a caution I give to women. Women, sometimes we don't know how to negotiate, and then you want to spring a surprise, and then you are demanding, I want to do this, and you have to strategize and negotiate. Talk about it. Know how you can win your spouse. And the same with the men as well. You're doing something, you want to do something, your profession, you want to do a course, that requires so much effort. Talk about it. You'll be surprised and amazed how your spouse will support you along the way. So we keep on talking about transparency, because it brings a lot of heartaches to a lot of couples when they find out later that you were doing this and you never shared with me. You are doing this, you never shared with me.
I've heard of marriages that are breaking apart because the man found out that the wife was building the hometown. So the marriage can be apart.
And
it's a serious issue.
There's a history behind it all. The motive in the marriage. You are in the marriage, and is it a competition? That should be out. You are not in competition with your spouse in any way. You are partners. You are partners. You are a team. You must see yourself as a couple. You are a team, first of all. So a team works together, and you deal with all the issues together, and you don't say this is yours, that's your problem, you see. But it all depends on how we go about it. So let's ensure that we do what is right. I've talked about the communication, which is very huge. Be transparent and communicate regularly, even during the implementation. If there are challenges, come back. Bring this is so how do we do it, and then we do it. Oh, okay. I'll use my case as an example. If I think there's a subject that I'm having a challenge with, I'll tell Bobby I'll need more time. I'll need to go have some discussions, and then he agrees, and then I'm away, for a longer time, as unusual, out of the usual. So communication. Sometimes the other problem is that implementation can be difficult. The challenges can be overwhelming, but as you continue discussing, a burden shared is easier, so you can prevent getting burned out, in the implementation of the project. One partner feels stuck, unmotivated, while the other is pushing forward. You ought to be careful, even in supporting your spouse's goal. You have to be careful you are not too pushy.
How do you ensure that? Let's talk about that, because sometimes one may not realize they're being pushy.
Yes, because you mean well.
Yes.
So it is important that you know yourselves as a couple. You know each other very well, your temperament, your what is not helpful. You must invest some time in knowing that aspect of your spouse, so that if your spouse is the kind that is not too pushy, there are some spouses, they don't mind. They even like it when you have to. And I think women, we are good. I'm very good at no, let me not generalize and say women, but I can be very pushy because I am a result-oriented person, naturally. I think I got it from my dad. That's how he trained us, to be result-oriented people. And so anything I'm doing, Charlie, I have to map out a strategy. Let's do it. If I'm working with any team, we want results. We are not interested in excuses. And because of this, I couldn't do it. No, who wants to know that because of this, you could? No.
Show me the results.
So sometimes I get pushy. But I know, so I try to introduce some wisdom into I will be pushy anyway, but you won't feel it.
Okay.
Getting the job done. And so once a while I threw, okay, inti azina, this thing that you are supposed to be doing, how are you getting along? How far? Are there any challenges? So I will bring it up.
Okay.
Bobby may not bring it up, but I will bring it up, and I'll bring it up in a nice way so that he doesn't feel that I'm giving him too much pressure. So it could be the other way for every couple is unique. It could be the other way, that the man is the one that is pushy, but know yourselves as a couple and know what works well best for you, and then be sure that you employ those strategies. And
this is Sunny 88.7 from the Marriage Unscripted Series. Aunt Vera, I heard of a story where a woman, her husband is doing well. She thought it was time for her to further her education. And so tells the husband, this is what I've been thinking. I'd like to do this. And then the spouse says,
oh goodness.
She has to go outside the country. How does someone manage a response like this? Everyone
it's not a go. It's not a green light. It is not a green light. JJD. There are so many ways that we say the sometimes the person may not even say it, but will be acting it. Body language, all of that is so, be sensitive to everything. So that's why I said, was that a woman?
It was a woman.
So like I said, women, we must learn how to negotiate. You have to, my strategy is that I will, if I want to do something, I will let you see the need.
Okay.
So for instance, when I needed to fill the freezer outsource, I had to, for 2 months, negotiate, create the problem.
2 months?
2 months.
Okay.
So it's important, so that you get the buy-in of everybody who matters.
Yeah.
So you can apply that in everything that you want to do. So what I did was that I started off by this woman cooking, bringing food to us in the office. She was a caterer. Her food is good, it's nice. It's just like me,
Yay.
Mrs. Sackey, cooking. So
Fantastic.
I brought some of the food home and I gave it to Bobby. Bobby, hey, what's done?
Yeah.
Taste it and see. So, hey, how you do?
Oh,
Very
fine,
nice. So,
pa.
Auntie Haifa, hi. That was my caterer. She filled my freezer for
That's
years.
awesome.
So you start by that. You don't rush. Negotiation skills. And then, so he likes it. Okay. Then I come back from the office tired. I say, hey, if there was somebody had cooked, I got a caterer to stuff my freezer. So for 2 months,
You were
I
preparing
just
the family's mind.
Yes, that there's a need. There's a gap. There's a need. So you do that. So if you want to go to school, you start off by letting your husband know that if it is for your career progression, start off by making that case. Make a compelling case for that. And then you slowly bring it on board. And they say, hey, by the grace of God, this problem that we've talked about, God has made a way. You've carried him along. You've carried him. Now, so this is one way that you can do it for any dream that you have. And you need your spouse to take ownership, share ownership for the purpose of smooth implementation and results.
So we've been talking about a situation where all things are great. I mean, particularly in the area of transparency, because some people's reason for not being transparent is because maybe they've seen that their spouse is the way they're spending their money. And so now they have a project or they're undertaking a project. They would rather not tell their spouse about it, because they tell their spouse about it, that project will not happen. Meanwhile, that project is for the entire family. The money will go into other things. How a couple that a woman or a man or a wife or a husband who finds himself in such a situation where it doesn't look like transparency is an option, if he or she has to carry the family, how do they go about this? Particularly in the area of financial goals. It can be a tough place to be.
JJD, this is a common one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, but you see, it signals a fundamental problem in the marriage that must not be swept under the carpet. When there is no transparency, you have come that far because of that problem. And that problem must be addressed. First of all, it is so important, because if you don't, it will show up every now and then it will break the trust in the relationship. It will cause bigger problems in that marriage. It can even end up leading to divorce. And so it is a signal of a major problem which they must address. If it is the woman that is spending, is always on a spending spree, it is important that the husband sits the woman down and makes her understand that this is affecting our marriage. And so we must address it. If there is need to get help by all means and address that problem. That's how I want to address it, because it is not the project you are going to do and there is a bigger problem.
It's a bigger
and
one.
You must address that huge fundamental problem that goes to the roots of the marriage. And then once that bottleneck is removed, then there's free communication, free movement, everything flows freely. And then what is so beautiful than you doing this project together? The woman, there are some things that are so feminine and the woman's inputs must be brought on board. There are some things that are so masculine for the men to bring. So you need a joint effort, and bring, by all means, endeavor to work together as a team. Carry the problem spouse along and let us do this together.
And as we're even speaking, my mind is going back to even the issue of parenting, where sometimes one spouse feels, I have the money, I can afford, I want to take the child to that school. And the other part, let's say maybe it's the man who probably doesn't have that earning power, says, why can't we rather take the child to that school? And the woman says, no, I can afford it. It's something I can do. And then you see an issue where now she needs his buy-in for something that needs to be done. This because says someone also that's you said you take him to that school, so handle it. So I mean, I love what you're saying today about negotiating, being able to get the buy-in, whether you feel you have the money to do whatever it is or not. It is important that both of you can come on board. Abna says to the single ladies from this chat from Auntie Vera, as part of preparation, you must up your acting and comedy skills, Anna. Creating a need for 2 months, knock and wisdom. I mean, I pick up a lot of wisdom from Auntie Vera this morning. And this message also says, so the pushing is not controlling. There could be a thin line between being pushing seen. Yes. And I don't know if you can just touch on that a little bit. I know you have, but maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. It's all about the motive. Motive is very important. And I go back to the fact that you must know each other. You must know each other. Bobby knows me to be pushy, but knows that I mean well. I just want things done. For instance, when we're going out or we are doing anything at home, have you done this? That's me. Because my mantra is prevention is better than cure. So when we are going out, have you taken this? Have you, me? I will go on and on and on. Have you done this? Have you done this? There was a day I didn't do. Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you taken this? I didn't do that. Because I said to myself, I've done it many times. They know Everybody knows what they have to do. And do you know that they didn't do it? It came to my mind at the gate. I was sitting in the car. I was going to sit in the car. And I said, it's okay.
Too much. Monitoring and evaluation.
Policy for. And you see, so now we got to the place and we realized that we had missed something very important just because mommy did not say, have you taken this? Have you done this? So now they understand that I don't mean I don't mean to be pushy. I don't mean to be controlling. I mean for us to get things right. Prevention is better than cure.
So at the back of our minds, it's really important that that man or woman you've married has your best interest. That's should always come down to that. So it's the Marriage Unscripted series, and we're talking about couples supporting each other's goals and dreams. Another message here says that there are other men too who don't like long talk, just go straight to the point. So like you, the 2 months one you did, this one they just give it to me. But still, in giving to them straight to the point, is there some wisdom you can apply so that even though it's straight to the point, you can get what you want?
So the difference with mine is that they didn't know I was I had an agenda. They had no clue.
You were preparing the grounds.
Just preparing the ground.
Finally, when it was fertile, you hit the nail on the head.
So it's not that give it to me straight. There's a place for that one. There's an issue that you have to discuss. Then you sit around the table and then you talk about it. For instance, just yesterday, I told Bobby I wanted to, men, they don't like it when we have to talk. That phrase.
Yeah, that phrase.
They don't like it all. Yes.
No, not
they don't like
all.
it all. We have to talk.
The men
so
say
me,
that,
I don't
like,
do
what
that.
have I done?
Yes, it's what's my crime. Now, and then they'll become defensive.
Very defensive.
So me, I don't even talk
Use
about
that line.
we have to talk.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
The
we have to
single
talk.
ladies, please learn this fast.
We have to talk. You don't need to say we have to talk.
Just say what you want to say.
Just look for a right atmosphere. Then you bring it up. Hey, Charlie, and don't be too
rigid.
Don't
with
take
it.
this thing too serious and so serious. Don't be confrontational. No. So yesterday we had a nice conversation. I was making a point that I needed his support. I needed him to come along, but we did it nicely, beautifully. It's because of the way I went about it.
And that's I'm sure what you've learned, it didn't come from your first or 2 years in marriage.
No.
At which point you learn how to apply this wisdom? Because sometimes we learn this late.
Yes, we learn this late, but you don't need to go through it when we have gone through it.
That's why you're here
and
today.
We are telling you that you don't need. Please, can we talk?
Yeah.
Even the tone with which you are saying, please, can we talk? Is enough to let him be defensive and not to open up. So just over the years, everything that you do that doesn't give you the desired result, put question marks, identify them. After this talk, sit down, you as an individual, whether you are the woman or you are the man, sit down and see the sort of things, the joint discussions that, or joint dreams and plans and programs that you want to do that kind of backfires due to one. Do an introspection. How did I contribute to that?
Yeah.
How did I and take ownership? And you know, there are so many things. One of the things I have learned lately that I do on my speaking engagements, especially with marriage, is that know that you cannot change your spouse. This doesn't fit in here, but I must say it. Know that you cannot change anything about your spouse. It is not within your mandate. It is not within your remit to change anything about your spouse. Don't quit investing energy in trying to change your spouse. He does this, he is this, or she is this, she's this. You are trying to change. You don't have that mandate. It is the Holy Spirit that changes anybody, especially things to do with the heart. The Bible says the heart of the king is in his hands, and like the river, he turns it whichever way he pleases. So you must know that you don't have that mandate. And so if there are things that you are doing, rather do an introspection, direct your energies to yourself, and see the things you can partner with the Holy Spirit to change about yourself and your contribution to the marriage, all the negative contributions you have made so far. If it is 5 years, 2 years, by all means do an introspection and then assess yourself. And let's go back to the Holy Spirit, who is ever ready to help us. He will give us another chance. It's not a second chance, another. That means a million. It's not just a second chance, a million chances.
Abuna is listening to us from the US, and she says that, Auntie Vera, please pray about the marriage acting school you are starting. We'll send our daughters over. Auntie Vera, we're wrapping up our conversation, but I want you to finally speak to our listeners. I mean, this morning, one important thing I'm picking up is the importance of the art of negotiation, that skill. If you say you want to marry, you need that skill.
Yes.
If you can wrap up for us, Auntie Vera.
Okay, so there's the bit about supporting each other emotionally. Sometimes that is pushed on the back burner. It is so very important that we are there for each other, supporting each other emotionally. You know, because God created us as social beings. We have our emotions, you know, and all of that. We are spiritual as well, but we are emotional beings as well. And so if you don't invest time in supporting each other emotionally, you might realize that you are growing apart over the years. If you don't invest effort and time into that, naturally you drift apart. Marriage itself calls for a lot of effort. You need to spice it up. You need to do a lot of things
to keep it
going. Oil it, your communication lines. Please oil the lines and everything. So be sure that you are there for each other. Otherwise, before you know it, you are married, but your spouse is emotionally attached to somebody else. And that's not what you want. They don't mean any evil intention, but you drift apart, and there's a vacuum created, and that vacuum will be filled by either a colleague in the office, a friend somewhere. It will be filled, and it must be filled by your spouse. So we need to work on it very much, and understand that the success of your spouse is yours. You must
say that again.
Every success of your spouse is yours as well, and it's for the family, and it's for your friends. It's for the kingdom. The kingdom, God's kingdom, is proud of any child that is making him proud.
Your dials on Sunny 88.7 FM. We're wrapping up with Mrs. Veronica Rita Sackey. Mame is also listening in, and she sent in Isaiah 41 verse 21. Produce your cause, said the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, said the King of Jacob. And she's added negotiations near. Well, I want to remind you about our couples retreat. Aunt Vera, she's had a few of what our couples retreats are like. And this year, 29th to 31st of August, plans are in place for us to be at Westin Serene Atlantic Hotel, Takoradi. We're having Paul and Linda Mante, they are founders of Christian Couples Clubs. We're going to be talking about money. This will probably be one of the few times we're talking about money at our couples retreat. Reverend Professor Daniel, Mrs. Betty Nyako, also going to be joining us. They are based in Tadi, and they are marriage counselors. Also, Michael and Letitia, we are grabbing them along from Accra, taking them for the couples retreat. It covers transportation, 3 days, 2 nights at Western Serene, retreat sessions, breakfast, lunch, and dinner buffet. We'll also be having a day out at the Groove Esipon. What I've noticed that when you go on retreats like this, sometimes the defenses and everything are down. Conversations that needed to be had, you're able to have them. You're able to talk about your goals and aspirations, get their buy-in. A lot of things can happen at couples retreat. And I just want to get Auntie Vero to also share her experience from how beneficial this is for couples, whether you've been married for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. At the time you came, you must have been in your, which year? 20 something or 30 something?
Maybe 27 or 28.
Wow, powerful.
But before 30.
Before 30.
I believe that this marriage thing, we are in it all.
Yeah.
As Christians, we are in it. And we are not going out. Please know that Bible says, God says, I hate divorce. So if we agree that we are in it, then we better let it work. Instead of enduring, let us enjoy it. And these are the sort of things that you can do to spice up your marriage. And we talk about the wellness. A lot of people are living in marriages. They are broken. They are emotionally abused, broken, and they are there just enduring their marriages. This should not be our story. If you have endured your marriage for a while, this is the time to change the narrative. You have an opportunity to do something about it. It is so important that you, and here is the negotiation. It is one party that may have heard this advert, may have seen this being talked about, that the Sunday couples retreat is coming up. You who have heard it, make sure you are bringing it to your spouse, to let the person buy in, your spouse buy in, that yes, we need it. Create the need. Let the spouse, it's when 29th. So today is 5th. You have more than 3 weeks to ensure that you get the buy-in. And so let's do that. The benefits are countless, numerous, and it is priceless. What you will gain from attending that retreat over the weekend, you'll be amazed. It is life transforming. It will transform everything around you. You go back, maybe currently, I can tell you that a huge percentage of marriages are just enduring. The couples are just enduring each other, and then there's so much toxicity around. Please, let's leave the. If you want, why you drew, why you drew,
why you heavy too
why
much?
you heavy too much? Let's leave. Let's leave and let's join. They say the best comes from the West. Let's join this at the Western Serene Hotel.
Yes.
And let's join the couples, the kind of activities that you will embark on. You'll be surprised. You will come back renewed, revitalized, bonding better. In fact, you are going to renew your vows there.
Yes, on
and
Sunday.
You are going to renew your vows.
So if you're listening to us, you can sign up. You can speak to us. Send us a WhatsApp 0545 223324 if you're realizing this is what you need. All right, 0545 223324. 7,824 is 7,888, 7,888 Ghana cedis per couple. This message says, I just chanced on this program some 20 minutes ago, but I think this must have been broadcasted during a time that people would be at home to hear this all-important subject. Thankfully, we've shared this on social media, so we can probably share the link with you. You can always go back to watch and share with your loved ones. Someone says, can I get Auntie Vero's contact? Auntie Vero, you're a counselor. Would you want to support a few people?
Yes.
I can share that with them.
Yes,
All right, we'll do that. Okay, so we're wrapping up here. Auntie Vero, thank you so much for coming through. I'm sure third year of Marriage Unscripted, we get to call you back. Stay with us right
Thank
here.
you so much, JJD,
Yes,
for
thank you, Auntie
having
Vero.
me. It's always a delight to come back
Thank
to
you so
Sunny
much for your
FM.
time.
Thank you. God bless.
All
Bye-bye.
right, here's a reminder about the couples retreats, why they choose.
Sunny FM is excited to announce its Couples Retreat 2025.
You're like a dream come true.
The Couples Retreat train is heading to the beautiful city of Takoradi this year. Prepare for a refreshing and unforgettable weekend getaway at the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, crowned with a special vacation at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort. Date 29th to the 31st of August 2025. Lock down the date and get ready to experience a weekend filled with warm fellowship, interactive and impactful retreat sessions, and intentional couple bonding activities that will leave lasting memories. Our time at the Groove, a Sipon Beach Resort, promises pure delight, horse riding, kayaking on calm waters, to relaxing couple walks, couple games, and beautiful moments under the sunset. It's a perfect setting to unwind and reconnect in the most memorable way. The weekend will cost 7,888 Ghana cedis per couple, inclusive of transportation. Registration deadline is the 25th of August